All right. Well, welcome to class today. It's not very sunny today either, unfortunately. I was hoping for some sun. I hope it's not going to rain because I don't like rain. And Ken just arrived. We just started class, so welcome, Ken.
Congratulations, Ken.
Better late than never.
ありがとうございます。はい、スクショしました。3つのスクショしておきました。
Ken, you kind of sound like a robot today. You want to try again? Can you hear me okay, Ken?
Yes, hello, how are you?
Oh, hey, that sounds better. It didn't sound as good before. Perfect. So great. I'm fine, thank you. How are you today, Ken?
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you?
Okay, good. A little tired, a little busy today. Back into normal life, so it's fine. Great. Well, we've started class already. Yes.
Just one question. When is the summertime starts in Europe? When?
Summer.
Maybe. Summer. No,
June?
summer. Sorry. Yeah, usual
Winter?
time, ordinary time. Yeah, winter time is.
Winter
I mean,
technically has started, I believe.
I started.
Has
Okay.
it? No, I'm sorry. I lied. It's autumn or fall has started. I think in December. I think the solstice is it the solstice? I don't know. But it's either the 20th or 21st. I think of every 3 months is when another season starts. So in September, fall began. So September, October, November, December. So December probably for winter then.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So welcome to our class. All right. So today we're going to discuss ways and how you can get along with your boss. Now, by the way, I have 2 flies that are flying around me, and they're terrible. So if you hear me hit the computer for some reason, maybe that's why. How to get along with your boss. Now, let's say you're working already, you're about to get a job, you just got a job. So there's different parts of your employment that might be important in this case as well. So today we're going to focus on how you can build a relationship basically with your boss. Okay? Any questions? Let me go ahead and screen share quickly how to get along with your boss is what I want to see. There you go. Very good. So, do you think it's important to get along with your boss or not? Hello.
Not.
Okay. Why?
Well, business is business. If you good in the business, to get along with your boss is not so important.
Okay. Well, why might you want to get along with your boss?
Oh, but this is my case. Okay.
Yeah, you're different.
Because I'm a musician, and for me, passengers is most important. If 400 passengers every night said music is good or bass player is okay, I have extremely good recommendation with my boss. My boss is also satisfied, happy, and this is our goal. Because relationship with my boss is not so important. First, business, and second is okay. I'm sorry. This is also good with you to be along with your boss or colleagues. This is one more thing to good on the job, but I think in my case this is not so important.
Okay, see, your job is quite different, and that actually is a very good point. Now, I'd like to talk to the other two, and see what they think, because I can absolutely agree with you. I have a very similar situation. I have bosses in all of my different jobs, but at the end of the day, I'm kind of the boss. I mean, I know how I teach, I organize my time. I'm self-employed, so it's a little different. But yes, I have bosses. Thomas is one of my bosses. I have other bosses as well.
Oh, of course.
So, I completely understand and you're correct. As long as the client, or in my case, the student, is happy, what more? That's it, right?
Yes.
English is a process, and it's not something that is very easy to just learn suddenly. Okay, it takes time, it takes patience, and it takes a while. Same with music. Music isn't something that you can learn overnight. Maybe you like the style, maybe the musician isn't good, maybe the music isn't your favorite, something like that. So there's a lot of different things that could happen with that. Okay. So I'd like to ask Chen Hu. Chen Hu, you work at a shop, correct?
Yeah.
And how does your relationship with your boss affect your job? Does it?
I don't know how to say.
For example, if you don't like your boss, does it matter? Is that important or not? Sorry, I'm trying to kill a fly. Is your relationship with your boss important?
Yeah. Sometimes I talking with my boss. I always feel tense because I feel something not normal.
Okay, so sometimes you feel nervous. Is that because you think you could get fired? You know what that means? Okay. Is that common?
Yeah, because she can play my job. If I talk about my job, maybe make her think too more.
Okay, so you're worried about possibly losing your job.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay. Ken, what about you? Is it the same situation for you?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, get along with is not absolute necessary, but it's maybe, yeah, it's important to get something, to get some advantage or to cooperate with, or yeah.
Absolutely. Well, in a lot of these jobs, when I'm thinking of my presentation and my classes, what I'm referring to is a typical 9 to 5 job. If you look at society, in my opinion, I think a lot of jobs are in an office, okay, or at a school if you're a teacher. At a shop as well. So all of these jobs, except for Bob, Bob has a different kind of job, but
Yes.
But your job isn't common. If you think about how many workers in the world are actually like cruise ship workers, what percent would that be? Very small. So even though it's a huge market, there's really not a lot of people who actually do that for a full-time job. So the majority of other people will have jobs in their office. Again, even my job is a bit different because I work from home. So if you have is it unconventional or an abnormal job, these rules, the relationship with your boss might not be important. But in the majority of jobs, I think it could be. And so I thought today would be a good idea to talk about that. Okay. So getting into the presentation, it says we all have bosses unless you're self-employed, like myself. So With the majority of the working class having a boss, we have to get along with that person. Now, I also agree with Bob and Ken that we don't have to get along necessarily with with your boss. It does help. Okay, but first I want to talk about some reasons why you might want to get along with your boss. So, Chen-Hu, could you read this for us, please?
Okay. People in general can sometimes be difficult to get along with. We have already looked at some classes about how to deal with difficult people. So we are going to specifically uh, special specify
Specifically.
specifically specifically talk about have a relationship with your boss.
Okay, so what do we think about this? Agree, disagree, not sure? What do you think?
When I with my boss together, I always talk. I don't talk my job about job. We can tell the food, the weather, and the family, the and the friend, and sometimes the uh, interesting scene and the animal
Okay.
and other else can mm, make me relax and the communication and the
Mm-hmm.
conversation can be very happy.
Okay, all right. So you talk about other things as well, not only your job, right? Is what you're saying? You talk about different aspects, but you have to talk about your job, right? With your boss and sales and what you need, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So probably the majority of your conversations are about work, but you can also add different topics, right? So
Yeah.
you feel comfortable. Okay. Well, that's good. That's important as well. Okay, good. Um so that's basically it. Any questions or comments here before we continue? No? All right, well, Bob, you are going to read next. One moment.
Okay.
There you go.
Firstly, we need to understand the role your boss plays in your work life. You have to realize that the relationship with your boss could affect your future career.
Okay. So, do you agree or disagree with that sentence?
Hmm.
It's a good question.
Okay, second. You have to realize the relationship with your boss could affect your future career. Uh, yes, of course, I agreed because I'm now on the ship and I'm on the ship 5 years last. But I remember my previous job in my country because country job is second world. And this is really true about the story of boss and the relationship in the country in the government in country job. This is really necessary and important because if you're not in good relationship, it's very possible in now in the recent times, especially before 20 years. Okay, yes or no important, but today for the global economy crisis is really, really
Really important.
maybe not so important, but this is good for you.
Okay. Yeah.
Good for job, yes.
Okay. Perfect. Well, I do agree with that. So thank you.
Yeah.
Ken, do you have anything to say? Any comments about this?
Yes, I think so. It's important, and also sometimes, how can I say, some countries, some government, yeah, government or some company uh, choose people according to the relationship with, kind of, of the top of for with top, but maybe some company, evaluate people's career or educational background or something. It's also effective, but if you choose one people, maybe this kind of good relationship works, even though they check the career or that kind of background. But so yeah, good relationship could affect our future.
Absolutely. And that I do agree with, especially here in the south of Spain. A lot of people, my husband actually got a job 3 years ago working because his friend said, "Hey, are you looking for a job?" And he was. And now, even to this day, because of that connection, he's working. So without, his friend saying, "Hey, are you working? Hey, do you want to come work for my company?" Blah blah blah. Not his company, but where he worked. Um, like I said, he's got a job today. So without that, where would he be? What would There's a lot of questions. So you have to kind of, is it good? Is it bad? I mean, of course, a relationship with your boss is important to a certain extent. Also, when my husband had that job, his bosses were terrible. They did not follow the law. They had him working more hours, whatever, lots of incorrect things. But he maintained that relationship with them in order to keep his job. Because if he didn't have a job, then there was no job. So that happens a lot here in Andalusia. And I disagree with that a lot normally. Because some people will work in the government buildings and then hire their cousin who has no experience. They'll hire their boyfriend's sister. I don't know. People that don't really belong in that section or in that job. So we'll see. Well, let's move on. Ken, you're next to read. So I'll have you read this, okay?
Okay. Your boss decides who gets a promotion, which directly affects you. Also, if you don't do your job correctly, your boss can't do their job correctly either. So basically, you both need each other.
Okay.
I
So what
see.
do you think of this opinion?
I think so, yes. Kind of co-dependent each other, yes.
Okay. And why? Why do you think I've written this about, if you don't do your job correctly, your boss can't do their job correctly? Why? Why not?
Because of the responsibility, if I am a self-employee, maybe responsibility could, comes to me, but in the company or such kind of organization, this maybe sometimes responsibility go to the top, but I read the interesting insight about this. If it is a minor mistake, maybe lower ranking employee suffers. But if it was a big mistake, probably top leader, positions employee, worker suffers. But sometimes, such leader, how can I say, maybe they said, oh, that's the lower ranking employees uh, is
Fault.
responsibility,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, fault. So that employee, can be target for fire or claim or something. That also happens. So it's very
Mm-hmm.
tricky.
It is. And I do agree with that. Actually, I'm echoing. Well, Ken, could you mute yourself quickly? I don't know where I'm
So
echoing from.
okay,
I'm not echoing anymore. Okay, anyway, um, I absolutely agree with that it depends on the mistake and how big the issue is and really whose fault it is. So that I can't understand. It's a difficult situation. It depends really how bad the situation is. So you're absolutely right there. Any other comments about that? Anyone else want to comment? No?
No.
Okay, perfect. Well, let's move down here. And then, Chenhu, I'm going to have you read this next part. Oh,
Okay.
Bob, I've opened the windows and I still can't get rid of these flies. Okay? Nothing's working. All right. So, Chenhu, you can read now. Okay?
Okay. With that information, your boss should be on the top of your list. If you take care of your boss, your boss will take care of you.
Okay, so what I have underlined are kind of the main ideas, the main things on how to get along with your boss. Okay, now these aren't in any particular order, they're not in, whatever. It's just this is information. Okay, so your boss's needs, and again, this obviously depends on your job. Again, my idea is that people are working in an office because I feel that the majority of the jobs in the world is this. So your boss's needs should be on top of your list. What do you think about that? I mean, I can see, people agreeing and completely disagreeing with this. So let's start with Chenhu. What do you think? Do you agree or disagree with this statement?
I think something is very important with my boss. If I can solve this thing, then the boss will give me very, very, uh, very good, good,
Well, be happy.
very good thing. Yeah, very happy. Make give me more salary or something else.
Okay, see, and that's exactly what I was saying before. Well, that I had written before is that your boss can directly affect your promotion or if you get a promotion. So if I go back, your boss decides who gets a promotion, which directly affects you. So if you're chosen or not chosen, that is the situation. Okay, so yes, I definitely agree with that. Any other comments, Bob or Ken?
Yes, I have comments.
All right, let's hear them.
I think this phrase, your boss needs should be on the top of your list, today is depends of the country, on
Okay.
where is the location of the people. This is not equivalent Africa, South America, North America, Europe, England, and my country, Serbia also. I know what's happening in my country. Is not every city, everywhere is high democracy, and somewhere is really, really action. Boss need to be on top of your list. By the way, because I go to ship and I not leave my country. I am always in my country.
Okay.
But I very clear see what's happening in the world. England is high level of democracy. This is really maybe English people not see everything, but I see my job, ships and blah blah. We have a lot of documents. If I have problem with my roommate, I have documents. I fill the form. if I have problem with my leader or my boss is the cruise director. First, my boss is cruise director, and my cruise director is from England, from Manchester.
Okay.
And really, we have zero problem, absolutely no problem, because job. But in high level democracy country, today we have 4. This is list of paper, and you can't feel and complain what's happening, because in this case is not important. Boss need to be on top of your list, because in our job is job on the top of the list.
Right.
The work.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, yeah, you're number one. Yeah. No, it is completely different too. But your boss's needs is that you do a good job so that your company will be hired again. So you're kind of doing both at the same time. Well, why don't we actually go down to the next? We have a lot to get through here today. So let me see. Chinhu read this one, right? Yeah, yes. Chinhu read this one. So Bob, it's your turn to read this one about trust, okay?
Okay. Trust is very important part of your relationship as well. As a boss, it's important to have someone in the office you can trust, someone who you know will do a good job even if you aren't there. Yes.
So, what do you think about that?
Absolutely, trust is very important.
In any relationship, right? Not just.
Yes, of course. In every job, every relationship, because the second time your boss have what's the name in English? Trust. Yes.
Yeah, when they rely on you.
Yes, if boss trust on you, this is good for you and good for the company. And boss not call you in the office. Oh, come on, I want to say to you something, and depends of the job, depends of the country, depends of the situation. Yes.
Okay. Well, Ken, what do you think about this? We'll get your opinion and then we'll move on. Because you boys are talking a lot today, which is great. But so, Ken, what do you think? Yeah.
Yeah, I think the trust is important, and but sometimes people use trust to manipulate people, or that also sometimes happens, especially this kind of relationship, because usually organization has hierarchy, though.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel current American president, he's doing, this person is trustworthy for me. That's him. That's for himself. So such kind of things sometimes happen.
That's very true. Well, good. So trust is important. And with that, we'll go to the next part here. Okay, Ken, so you can read this for us.
Okay. Being positive is an important aspect in life in general. So there's no difference here. Focus on your boss good qualities or things your boss does well.
What do you think about this?
I think so, because maybe if we focus on the negative thing only, maybe we cannot trust on that person. Also, we cannot, we don't have a good relationship with that person. So maybe in order to make a good relationship, maybe we need to focus on the good quality or better things more than bad things about them. Yeah, yes.
Exactly.
So,
sorry.
My brother-in-law, he's very a gentle person, And he said in a kind of party, a company's party, he dared to sit down the beside the boss. Not everybody like actually. So maybe yeah, such kind of action maybe it's good to yeah, has create yeah, good relationship no matter what the boss are.
No, I agree with that. There's a little bit more to this, so I'm actually going to have Chen-Hu read this part, okay, and then we can talk a little bit. Okay, we'll stop there for for now. All right, so 1 second, Chen-Hu, are you ready? I'll have you read this, okay?
Okay. Uh, if you focus on the negative things, over time you will have very negative feeling about your boss. Even if you don't get along with the personality of your boss, you can still look at things your boss does well. Maybe your boss is very punc- punc- punctual
Mm-hmm.
or have worked on a very important program, etc. that you admire.
Okay.
Admire. Yeah.
Admire, yes. So basically, like it says here, don't always focus on maybe the personality of your boss because everyone has different personalities, okay? Um, Even with some family members of yours, you might have different personalities and you might not get along as much as you do with other people. So basically, it's not to beg for your boss's, positive feelings or anything. It's just so that if you get a job, let's say again in an office, it's a long-term job, it pays well, and you want to work there for 20, 25 years, and you know that you're going to have to deal with the employees, the boss, etc. for a long time. These are tips for you so you don't get frustrated. Okay. This is something that you can do from the very beginning, or if you feel that you're getting frustrated about something, okay, relax, stop, start at zero. Okay, go back to the beginning and try and forget everything that has happened until that point that has made you frustrated. Okay. Um, you want to go to work with a good attitude because then you will do your best at work. So there's a lot of things to take into consideration here. Okay. Comments on this about focusing on the positive parts. Any comments?
Positive parts.
Yeah.
But yes, this is really important. Be positive, be fresh, because if you like your job, you're doing correctly, good. If you're not, if you're negative, this is not good.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's not then
Yes.
you don't want to wake up every day and go to work. You're not focused on your job.
Yes.
There's a lot of negative things when you think negatively. So,
Yes.
it could affect your life in general. You could become depressed because of this. So, again, thinking of focusing on those very good things about your boss, even though you might not like their attitude or personality at all, that's okay. Not a problem.
Yes. I was very negative before 7 8 years because I don't like my job in the Serbia because I going to ship. And now
Mhm.
I'm very, very positive. I like my job.
Exactly. And
Yes,
that's, there's a huge difference. So if you think about a job that you had that you didn't like compared to a job that you do, huge
yes,
difference. Huge difference.
yes, huge difference.
Yes. Any other comments, Tenhu or Ken?
No.
Yes, that's
Sorry. You.
sorry. Yes, I think the good point is not necessarily that that person's personality. For example, good results for the project. Maybe focus on such things also important
Mm-hmm.
because it's a workplace. So maybe boss is not my friend, or maybe
Yeah.
relationships are a bit different from these such relationships.
Exactly. I mean, you don't have to be best friends with your boss, not at all. What I'm, trying to say is, if you're going to be in a situation where it's a long-term job, you need to be at least satisfied and not think terrible thoughts when waking up in the morning. So this is just to help people like that. Let's continue on and or we'll just okay. Now we'll move on. So there's two here. I'm just gonna finish up because this is at the end of the other paragraph. So there are, well, should be things that you can focus on about your boss which are positive. Okay, so again, even if you don't like your boss's attitude, etc., there should be some things that are okay. Some qualities you can find that are positive, okay, even if you have to look around. So, let's see. This is our next one. We'll have Bob go ahead and read this for us, okay?
Okay. Getting to know your boss is also important. Why? This why you can judge your boss moods, etc. Just by the way they enter the office, you can tell if they are having a good day or bad day. Pay attention to their facial expressions during a meeting so you can start learning more about your boss.
Okay. So what do you think? Agree, disagree?
Uh, in my case, no. But I believe in the other jobs, yes. The moods of boss is important. Yes, just by the way, enter the office, you can tell you have a good day or bad day. Yes, absolutely. Every day is um, what's the name? Difference of the day.
Okay.
Uh, Pay
Well,
attention. Yes, pay attention for day. What is um, facial expression? What is facial expressions?
facial expressions is how you look. I mean, if you're happy, you look, your face says you look happy. If you're sad or angry,
Yes.
by looking at someone's face.
Is my boss angry? Don't ask nothing.
Yes, exactly. So yes, it's important to look for these signs. Um, because if you see that they're having maybe a hard day, you can offer some help. Say, "Hey, I've got some free time today. Do you need help with anything?"
Yes,
Um,
yes.
"Oh, I can tell you look a little tired today. Do you want to go get a coffee?"
Yeah.
Okay. By doing those things, again, you're improving your relationship. Because of the time, I'm going to fast forward to the next part here. And so, Ken, that's going to be you.
Okay. Asking for feedback is a good way to communicate with your boss on a more personal level. Sure, it is a bad work, but your conversation can lead to other topics too. Doing the shows your boss that you are looking to improve at work, which gives you more credibility and can build trust.
Okay. So, feedback. What do you think about this? This is something that isn't as common, or at least I didn't think about this.
Mhm.
So, what do you think?
Ah, maybe it works because if you are asked about feedback, maybe that person think, oh, maybe he needs my evaluation, my feedback. So that means maybe to be a feeling of respect, maybe. So also the kind of conversation unnecessary, topic, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's really good to breaking out ice. to negotiate with something, and because the negotiation things also somewhat based on trust or human relationships. So yeah, that works.
Okay. All right, good. Any other comments about this, the feedback? No, nothing, no comments?
In my boss, we have not feedback.
Okay. But it's also you must ask for it. Say, hey, what did you think about this? I mean, your job is different, so it's a little bit not the same here. But for example, I don't know. With Chen Hu's job, for example, he could say, hey, am I doing okay? Do you want me to work harder? Is there any other task you want me to do? Things like that in order to, go be there for the company. So that's it. All right. Well, let's move on. Chen Hu, it's your turn. Actually, let's see this. Okay, there you go.
Okay. Sometimes just by having a short meeting once or twice a week can help you find that extra extra time with your boss. You may stand out from the rest, which could lead to a promotion. Maybe you are seen as a go-getter.
Okay. So, go-getter. First, let's talk about that. Maybe you are seen as a go-getter. Any idea what that could mean?
I don't know.
No? Ken?
No.
Maybe someone, how can I say, and how can I say, I'm not aggressive, but someone who really go to the target.
Okay, yes, basically that's it. Someone who is a go-getter is someone who's motivated, someone who wants to improve, someone who wants to do more. So very good. That's perfect. So, and even just, like I said, if they say maybe they're tired, say, hey, let's go get a coffee, or hey, I've got to talk to you about some things. Could we go get a coffee today? Just things like that really kind of puts you in a little different area. It makes things a little bit different for you compared to other people in the office. Okay, so again, you want to kind of stick out a little and be different, and that's one way that you can. All right. So, Chen Hu read that, right? This is the last one. So, Bob, why don't you go ahead and read this for us, okay?
Okay. Overall, there are many ways in which you can get closer to your boss in order to build a relationship. You don't have to agree with your boss or be a teacher's pet, but there are subtle things you can do in order to improve yourself at work and hopefully your pocket, promotion, raise, etc.
Okay. So, as this is a lot of things that you can do, you don't have to agree with your boss or be a teacher's pet. You don't have to basically. We've discussed teacher's pet. Ken, you know what teacher's pet is, right?
Ah, yes.
Can you explain that, please?
Maybe how can I say, act like teachers, act according to teachers' preference.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly. Yeah. So your teacher's preference of where if someone needs to do something that the teacher always contacts or tells that student to do it.
yes,
Also, we have another word, subtle, here, but there are subtle things. What's subtle? Does anyone know what that means?
not so important, maybe,
Okay.
or slightly, slight.
Yeah, I would say slight is a good word. It's more like little. There's
Yes.
subtle things. There are little things you can do in order to improve yourself at work. And hopefully your pocket. When I say your pocket, what am I referring to?
money. About
Exactly.
I think so. Money, yes.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. So you can improve your pocket due to promotion, a raise, or something like that. So, there's many ways that you can kind of not maybe improve your job necessarily, but improve yourself as a coworker, as, an employee as well. So, Chenhu, what did you think about this class today? Was it helpful for you?
Yeah, very, very. Make me.
Makes you think, right?
Let me think about.
And are you going to change some things at work?
Yeah. I think everyone, including my boss, wants to uh, wants to do something very well. So he like a smart people and
Mm-hmm.
like a go getter. Yeah, he like a go getter.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's
And
wonderful.
yeah,
Bob, do you think
because
this? Oh,
no, you can go.
okay,
I'm
sorry. I just want everyone's opinion before we finish. Bob, do you think this has helped you or not so much?
Yes, of course. Yes, helpful.
Oh my.
um, but always you need to keep on mind because relationship with boss is maybe not so important, but this is good.
Mhm.
This is good combination.
I
In
do agree
the
with that. Yeah.
yes, everywhere in the world.
Perfect. And Ken, what about you? Ken, do you think today's helped you or not so much?
Yeah, it's very helpful, and yeah, to know the relationship on the workplace. Or yes, also some vocabulary help from you.
Okay, good. Very
Yes.
good. Perfect. Well, with that, we are about finished for today. So I'm going to stop the screen sharing. All right. And I just checked my classes for my next class. And we're going to be focusing on a little bit of grammar next time. So it's going to be collocations. So it's those words that always go together. Normally there's 2 words, could be 3. Different parts of the words could be verbs and prepositions, like phrasal verbs that we know, or other things as well. So complicated, advanced, but it's part 2. I think we did the other one in August. So it's been a while, but that's okay. So we might review a little bit and then talk about the ones that we haven't looked at. And that's it. And then on Monday, next week, Monday, we're doing a reading activity. So come join us for that, for some pronunciation and new vocabulary, obviously. So very good. Well, we're finished then for now. I'm going to eat a quick snack before I make my next phone call. And thanks, guys, for coming as always. And hopefully we will see you on Wednesday, okay?
Okay.
All right,
okay.
perfect. Have a great Monday.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you.
Goodbye,
Bye.
everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.